You don't need a boyfriend. You know what you need? You need to love yourself. You need self-love. I noticed this a lot, especially in middle school, and that was probably because, now that I think about it, hormones were raging very hard, but there is a obsession, a very unhealthy, borderline scary obsession with, I need a boyfriend. I need a boyfriend. I need to have a boyfriend. I need to have a boyfriend or I'm literally going to D word. Like, it's insane to me. The amount of people that still carry this mentality, like they don't grow out of it, and that is completely attached to self-worth and self-love because you don't feel worthy and you don't love yourself. But let's start with the fact that you don't feel worthy, you don't feel deserving, you don't feel wanted. So instead of instilling that into yourself so you feel like that all the time and you have the confidence and you don't feel like you need to be attached to someone, you go and seek that out from someone else. Because them telling you that you're amazing and them telling you all the things that you want to hear carries more weight than you telling you all the things you want to hear, because that is coming from a person that you love and you don't love yourself. So you can sit and tell yourself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself so much, but it's not going to carry any weight. But if you did love yourself, oh my fucking God, you would realize that you don't need another man. You don't need a girlfriend. You don't need a partner. You don't need a fucking partner. People literally act like if they're single, they're gonna die. And also, people act like there aren't, literally the world's Earth population literally just crossed 8 billion like a week ago or some shit like that. People are acting like there's not 8 billion people in the fucking world. People are literally, like, let's be real, because people are like, oh my God, the dating pool is so hard. Oh my fucking God. There are 8 billion people on this earth. And a lot of them are over 18. A lot of them are over 21. A lot of them are in the age range you want. A lot of them are into the same things that you are. Like, it's genuinely so fucking annoying because I'll be talking to my friends and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm never gonna find somebody. I'm never gonna find. There are 8 billion people. And then you'll be like, oh, I'm never gonna find anyone. And you're like 21 or you're like 18 or you're like 30 or 40. I mean, age doesn't matter, but like, you haven't even lived out a quarter of your life yet. And if you have lived out that quarter of your life, you're just in the same small town. You haven't traveled anywhere. You haven't, like, hello? Like, it's actually genuinely fucking not only frustrating, because it's fucking annoying, if we're being completely honest, because that's your ego. Because a lot of people think ego is like, I'm better than everybody else. Everybody else sucks and I'm amazing. I'm here and everybody. That's not ego. You know what ego is? Ego is nobody's ever gonna love me. Ego is, oh gosh, I'm so unlucky. Just everything bad happens to me. Me, right? Me. I'm never gonna find anyone ever. You guys are so fucking dramatic. If you would stop being fucking dramatic and stop being so emotional and stop letting your emotions control your thoughts and what you're thinking, and if you like take a step back and like actually like been like, wait a second, am I actually gonna be alone for the rest of my life? Or are there 8 billion people in the world and like I might have a small chance of like finding someone? But then here's the thing too. You get a boyfriend, you get a girlfriend, you get a partner, whatever. But guess what? You can't even enjoy the partner. Do you know why? Because you're constantly overthinking. And where does that overthinking come from? Insecurity. Because you're not overthinking in the positive. Because you can overthink in the positive, but you don't. You overthink in the negative. So every time they're on their phone, you're like, oh my gosh, they're texting somebody else. Or like, God forbid, they scroll on Instagram and they see a girl or they see a guy. They see someone of the sex that they're interested in and you freak the fuck out because you are insecure because you don't feel like you're worthy enough. You feel threatened by other people's presence. And you are not realizing how worthy you are. You are not realizing how amazing you are. You are not realizing how they're literally dating you because they wanted to date you, because you have everything that they want. So you, for some reason, think that they're going to go and be with someone else. Or if they, because, hey, something else, just because you're dating someone doesn't mean you just, as soon as you start dating that person, you just don't find anyone attractive ever. That's not how it works. You can find other people attractive. God forbid your partner thinks somebody else is pretty or handsome, and you fucking spiral and you're like, oh my God, they're gonna fucking go date anybody, and oh my gosh, so if they think they're pretty, then I'm not pretty. Ego. You need to tell your ego to pretty liar, shut the fuck up. You know what you actually need to do? Because you're either complaining about not having a partner, or you have the partner and you are too fucking insecure and hate yourself so much, and you're constantly saying negative things about yourself, and you don't feel worthy or deserving, so you can't even enjoy the boyfriend you have. You know what you need to do? You need to love yourself. You need to love yourself. Because like I said, you can have the boyfriend, but if you are only getting validated from your boyfriend, what happens when your boyfriend's not there? What happens when you're home alone in the apartment? What happens when your boyfriend's not texting you? What happens when, what happens? What happens when your boyfriend doesn't tell you the exact words, the exact affirmations that you need to hear? What fucking happens? What happens then? What happens? You're not with your boyfriend and then you feel like shit? So you have to wait for him to come home? You have to wait until you guys hang out next week for you to feel pretty? Why would you want to feel that way? You need to realize that you can get validated by other people, but it's gonna go away. You need to realize other people can give you affirmations and tell you, oh, you're pretty, oh, I love you, you're loved, you're loved. What happens when they're gone? What happens? What fucking happens? Then you feel shit again. And it's a fucking cycle that's gonna repeat over and over and over again. You fucking feel like you need to be with someone else. You feel like you need to date someone else, or else you won't fucking love yourself. Or else you won't feel validated. You need self-love and you need self-validation. You need to stop seeking that shit from other people. That's not healthy, and that's not going to help you. That's not a long-lasting solution. These are small, short-term solutions. What happens if you guys break up? If you guys break up, then what? You're ugly? That's not how it fucking works. You want to be in a fucking mindset where you don't feel like you need someone to survive, to thrive. You shouldn't feel like if you break up with someone, you cannot live without them. Because you did before, did you not? Now, I'm not saying emotions don't matter. And yeah, if you've fucking been dating somebody for 10 years, you've married to somebody for 20, 30 years, and you guys do get a divorce or whatever, of course you're going to fucking be sad. Of course, that's someone you used to wake up next to every single day and all that shit, right? However, you need to realize that you're not going to die without them. And if you feel like you literally cannot survive without that person, literally you feel like you just can't, you need to go within yourself, because you literally, like, you need to not be validated by other people. This fucking goes to, like, I see people like getting comment. Keke Palmer was talking about this today, where people were calling her ugly, and yo, like, one comment can make a person spiral and feel anxious and down and sad and depressed. One fucking comment from a stranger. Because guess what? People are going to go on the internet and they're going to say shit. They're going to say shit on your page. And it's going to be either positive or it's going to be fucking negative. You cannot take every single fucking thing somebody else says to heart and to your mental. How do you do that? How do you not take every single thing somebody says to affect you emotionally, physically, and most importantly, mentally? And how do you stop seeking validation from other people and feel like, oh my God, I have to date somebody or I'm not good enough? Self-validation. You need to be constantly reminding yourself that you are okay, you are wanted, you deserve love. And it's going to be to the point where you can feel wanted and sought after without your boyfriend or girlfriend having to tell you that they love you every 5 seconds. You need to shift your mindset into the person that doesn't feel like they need people to validate them. You have to validate yourself. So no, you don't need a boyfriend. You don't need a girlfriend. You don't need a partner. You need to validate and love yourself.